Hey, it's Clay, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol NVCN. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like to this time frame. I think it does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then makes mapping out when levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. And I've done this one several times before, did it yesterday, so that's where these green and red line annotations are coming from. And, no need to beat around the bush, an absolute train wreck of a day. Had a very interesting close yesterday, and then all of a sudden, today the chart has taken a much different shape. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete that line out of there. Sure, it still pertains, it's just not relevant anymore, and there's really no point in leaving it up on the chart because I don't want to risk causing clutter and confusion with lines everywhere. So let's go through the first update here, and that update comes about based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they do tend to act as resistance. So if this little kind of miniature bounce that's occurred, I mean, you got to give some credit where credit's due to think that at one point today the price was actually all the way down here, and then the price managed to, bounce its way somewhat up to right there. Yeah, there's a little bit of a bounce right there, but if this bounce does continue, 0.0145, which is being represented by this red line now, is going to be that first key level of resistance that you want to see the bulls fight through. The key thing right now, though, in my opinion at least, is more so supports. Yeah, it gapped down. Yeah, it was ugly, but the price did bounce, like I said, and now you just want to make sure that the bulls can build upon this bounce, and you don't want things to start to spin out of control or anything like that. And so far, so good. It seems as though the buyers have really stepped in a pretty strong way. Let's see, what is that level? Right here at 0.039. You go through the history of this afternoon, and you can see several times the bears try to press down through that level, but to give credit where credit's due, the bulls did do a good job of holding strong there. So 0.039, certainly kind of that near-term level of support going into next week. In the event that level cannot hold, then just technically speaking, I'm not saying the price is going to shoot down there within seconds, but just from an overall perspective, there's just no other areas of support. There's no other history on the chart until down there at 0.037. So as far as levels of support going into next week, ideally, yeah, stay above 0.039, but in my opinion, more so that must-hold level would be 0.037 if the price were to actually get down around that area. But yeah, it has started to bounce, so maybe the bulls can build upon this bounce, and the quote, the first step of quote-unquote building on the bounce is going to be breaking up above 0.0415. So we'll see what happens with it next week. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.